Sometimes it's fair to say that when we make videos about stuff, the material that I choose to show in the videos can paint a narrative in and of itself. That's fair. I went to journalism school, guys. I kind of know how that works. But with that said, I wanted to establish at the beginning of this video that I am not coming in here with as much commentary of my own, more so than the Philadelphia Flyers fans that we are going to be looking at today. Take a look at NBC Sports Philadelphia. This is a video shared by the folks over there, of course, that depicts head coach Rick Tocchet sharing what he thinks went wrong in Philadelphia's blowout loss to the New York Rangers. Now, if you take a look at it, the Flyers played off against New York yesterday. They lost 6-2. It was in Philadelphia. The Rangers have been a fairly decent team on the road. They've been sucking at home too, but hey, this one was away, so they were able to win. And I just wanted to go out there and read some of the response from Flyers fans to this Rick Tocchet video. I thought some guys looked nervous, and then you can go out there and watch the entire clip yourself. Yada yada yada, whatever. Oh, shut up. This guy is pure trash and toxicity. The same skit as every other team he has coached when things go bad. He has his same crutches to deflect. Hey, Danny and Jonesy, you're losing us with this guy. Get him out now. We love this team too much to let this idiot not give a crap about the team. You look nervous about your final days of coach. Everyone in this city knows that he is not the right coach for the Flyers, and if the president and GM can't see that, then everyone needs to be fired. 80% of this roster are seasoned veterans. There's no way they are nervous. Your scheme is trash, and the guys you expect to carry the load for this team can't. Bottom line. And then you had Puck Drop Pod saying this. Are you sure that's not just you being nervous? Because yeah, well, you should be. This is a very interesting phenomenon. Known as the fanbase turning on Rick Tocchet, it seems like it has hit Philadelphia a lot earlier than it hit the Vancouver Canucks. Rick Tocchet, of course, if we head over to him and his team staff profile, is that a possibility here? Let's go out there and do that on Elite Prospects. But Rick Tocchet has indeed been followed around by an interesting reputation as a head coach in the NHL the past few years. He was the Tampa Bay Lightning head coach for a brief period of time before getting replaced. The Tampa Bay Lightning then made the Eastern Conference Finals the year after, losing to Boston, and then they kind of just stabilized. He was an assistant coach in Pittsburgh for a few years, won a few cups back-to-back with that team, and then was the head coach of the Arizona Coyotes, a role he held for 4 years, and a role that he wasn't really all too good at. Give it a few seasons of broadcasting on TNT, and Rick Tocchet comes in as the head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. This 23-24 campaign sees him win the Jack Adams as the NHL's Coach of the Year. And by all accounts, this team performed pretty well. I'm not going to necessarily say they were good, I'm just going to say they performed well. And the very particular system that Rick Tocchet was deploying for this 23-24 Canucks team, for whatever reason, it was being executed perfectly. That execution faltered the next season when guys like Nikita Zadorov and Ian Cole left, and then when guys up front like Miller and Pettersson started beefing. Tocchet was put in a tough spot because we all knew that he wanted to leave, and then the Canucks had the option to exercise their right to keep him. They decided not to do that. They're like, okay, if you want to leave, leave, fine. He did, and now he's in Philadelphia. After coming off a season where he has coached at the Olympics and the Four Nations as an assistant for Team Canada, Rick Tocchet, as the head coach of Philadelphia, has gotten treated to some pretty interesting commentary from the fans this part into the season. Let's head over to the Philadelphia Flyers in their subreddit over here. Take a look at this post made by Charlie O'Connor. It's some commentary from Tocchet on why he moved Matvei Michkov back to right wing. Well, Bobby leaving and then Mitch wants to try it. We'll see. I've got my thoughts on that, but we'll see how it goes. Let's read the comments of this post over here. Mish wants to try it. It being his natural position? Rick Tocchet is such a patronizing a-hole whenever he gets the chance. Well, when you take the dive for the great one and you're guaranteed by the NHL to not be banned for running a gambling ring and always given a spot to land, you become an arrogant POS. I cannot wait until this bald dude hits the bricks. He is by far the most unlikable Flyers coach I've ever seen. Just an obnoxious A. With the caveat that the whole world in general seems to get angrier more quickly these days, I'm still completely shocked how soon we got to the point that this drama is playing out publicly. I thought from day one that we would end up here. Tocchet is always at the center of drama, and he's got a long history of being a bad coach and struggling with high-skilled players. So for a team in a rebuild, I had no illusions that Tocchet would pass every test and keep fans on his good side for years. This was always going to turn rotten. But I didn't think that it would happen less than 5 months into the real hockey being played. He's speedrunning the classic story of a coach wearing out his welcome. I know the social media fan base skews a certain way, and there's probably a large contingent of mostly older fans who see no issue with him yet. But man, he does himself no favors whatsoever, and I'm very disappointed by how much his ego seems to get in the way of any sort of flexibility or creativity. Another reply says, yeah, I was cautiously optimistic that, hey, maybe things would go all right. Wasn't expecting it, of course, but I wasn't going to go into this season with my mind completely made up, if that made sense. I try not to be too quick on the trigger when it comes to reactionary hot takes, but man, the vibes are just off. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but Zegras slamming his stick against the ice last night when the refs called that interference penalty against Vladar? That seemed like more than being frustrated at a bad call in OT. And if I'm right, the fact that Trevor is that pissed off when he's been having such a fantastic year in Philly, that's concerning. Do I think Michkov is going to take his ball and go home? No. If it comes down to it, Danny is going to pick the players instead of Tocchet, I think. You're not going to lose out on Mish, Ziggy, TK, Sanheim, Tyson, Drysdale, Martone, or any of the other important pieces because Tocchet is being an a-hole. But we were supposed to put this kind of crap behind us when we fired Tortorella. 4 more years of this old, egotistical, narcissistic guy. Mish looked really good and had an assist for Barkey last night. Keep him in that right-wing spot. Such a stupid thing to say the day after he had money as a primary assist from the right wing. It's clear that Tocchet is trying to make Michkov play the way he wants him to at the expense of Mishkov's creativity. Taco thinks people pay to watch him coach. We lost Brad Shaw. For this, he's got the worst attitude of a coach I've ever seen. I've never seen a coach put himself before his players this much. You know, he hopes Michkov doesn't do better at right wing. And so with that said, Philadelphia Flyers fans are done with this guy, aren't they? Can't say I'm not surprised, but I can say I'm surprised it didn't really take all too long. The guy has now overstayed his welcome, and it's just been a mere few months of actually being the head coach of the Flyers. Philly fans, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Rick Tocchet as your head coach? What are your thoughts on the commentary and the media? What are your thoughts on how this guy responds to questions? The attitude that seems to be there? And if you're a Canucks fan, how much are you laughing right now, seeing this go down in the city of brotherly love? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.